Hello, my name is Christopher Connors, and I am an interim instructional designer at Emerson College in Boston, Massachusetts. And this is an assessment proposal for my EDU 6324 assessment competencies and learning analytics at Northeastern University for the certificate in e-learning and instructional design. And I want to start off this presentation with 5 words: communicate, collaborate, critically think, civically engage, and create. These are the 5 highest level learning values that Emerson is currently using in its assessment goals. So the AAHE says, the assessment of student learning begins with educational values. Assessment is not an end in itself, but a vehicle for educational improvement. Its effective practice, then, begins with and enacts a vision of the kinds of learning we most value for students and strive to help them achieve. So Emerson, in the last few years, has been doing just that with its Faculty Assessment Committee, its Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning, and the 5 C's that have been identified as the highest level learning outcomes. Going on, here's a quote from Lucy Lepovsky from an article in Forbes in May of 2015 that hits on why online programs are so popular for smaller, nonprofit institutions like Emerson. Emerson is a tuition-dependent school, and as such, online programs are very attractive. And to that end, Emerson has created 2 new online programs: a low residency MFA in film and TV writing, and a completely online MFA in popular fiction to help make a graduate course structure more appealing to students ordinarily unable to attend on-campus courses. The same goal of reaching students where they are is part of the summer undergraduate courses going online as well. So all online programs are hopeful net revenue drivers in Emerson's tuition-based model. However, with online education being so important, it's become apparent over the summer that students are not fully prepared to succeed in these courses. So there have been missed assignments, infrequent logins. One student logged in on the day before the very last day in class, hoping that they were going to be able to do all of their work in one day. There were missed notifications within both the web interface and within mobile apps, as well as time zone differences, confusing many students in international locations that were taking online courses. And in one case, there was a big case of plagiarism with one particular student. So enter the Learning Online at Emerson course. It became apparent that students needed some additional support when it came to online strategies for success, and this is where the Learning Online at Emerson course will come into play. So the course will be created in Emerson's learning management system, which is fantastic in that it has lots of available assessment tools along with a robust analytics dashboard to help see student engagement and to track which students may be struggling. So coupled with the help desk analytics and faculty conversations we're going to be having, the course looks to measure and improve the gaps in student preparedness. And we're going to be using 3 primary tools to do this. So within the instructional technology group, which is my instructional design team, we have complete administrative access to 3 powerful tools: our LMS, which is Canvas; Zendesk, which is a ticket tracking system that we share with the IT help desk; as well as Google Docs, which will allow us to create surveys that we can send off to faculty and also allow faculty to collaborate back with us. And to break down the Learning Online at Emerson program, I decided to go with the Kirkpatrick model of assessment. I found the system to be particularly helpful due to its usage within corporate training, and thus it lends itself to the vocabulary of non-academics, while simultaneously being relatable to faculty within the classroom, online and off, especially at a school like Emerson, where there are a lot of faculty that have been working in the trade business for several years or more. Some of them have been there for 20 years or so. So the breakdown is that there are four components of the Kirkpatrick model. There is a reaction stage, a learning stage, a behavior stage, and finally a results stage. So going into the reaction stage, we're going to be using ungraded surveys to start off the process to see where students feel they're at with online learning. Why are they taking an online course? Have they ever taken an online course before? These are also opportunities for us to gauge trends in student characteristics such as writing capability and English proficiency. Going on to the next stage, which is learning, learning will be entirely administered through the LMS through ungraded surveys for indirect assessment components and also direct assessment components in the form of graded quizzes and assignments. Taking a strategy from a study mentioned in Michelle Miller's book, Minds Online, quizzes will be taken an unlimited amount of times and will be administered often. These quizzes will be used to measure student knowledge retention and show that students have mastered the learning outcomes we want them to leave the course with. So that being said, student learning outcomes will resolve around demonstrating aptitude in the 5 primary areas that ITG and faculty have identified students having skill gaps in. So technical foundations are to make sure that they have the right equipment and know how to use the hardware. Personal settings will verify that they have set up their notification and time zone preferences. Assignments and due dates will demonstrate they can read and understand where these items are found in the LMS. Library resources will showcase what they have available for resources there and explain procedures around plagiarism. And finally, time management skills will allow students to demonstrate they understand the importance of sticking to due dates and have knowledge and resources available to them to help with attention and self-discipline strategies. And the goal of this program is to have 100% student completion of all the students enrolled in an online program. So here's a more detailed look at the individual student learning outcomes and their corresponding modules. It's a smaller text, but there's going to be an accompanying PDF to this presentation, so you can take a look at those and enlarge it and see it a little bit better. So the third stage is behavior. So students will have the opportunity to demonstrate the desired behaviors before the Learning Online at Emerson course has even concluded. They will be completing actionable items within the Learning Online at Emerson course, and we will also be checking in with faculty throughout the semester to keep aware of any developing trends in problematic behaviors that might be arising among student populations. And finally, with results, the Learning Online at Emerson course will come from the summative assessments of student grades as a baseline for mastery of course knowledge, and also Zendesk tickets that come through over the course of the semester with the tag online. The goal is to have a 50% reduction in online course help requests, steering requests to when things are not working properly and away from how do I types of questions. So we want to get things such as I'm not able to present my assignment because of a browser issue, as opposed to what button do I press to upload my assignment. Student evaluations are not accessible by ITG, but we can ask faculty members in our surveys and interviews what the trends were that they saw. While not a part of the Kirkpatrick model, Jack Phillips, who's another professional trainer in the same industry, adds a return on investment component onto his training model, which I find helpful in communicating to all the various stakeholders in the program. The 5 key stakeholders are online students, face-to-face students, faculty, support staff, and administrators. So the above chart you can take a look at to get a more detailed look at the benefits associated with each. like the student learning outcomes, it's going to be in the accompanying PDF. So for key takeaways, a 2014 report by the National Institute for Learning Outcomes Assessment stated that faculty are the key to moving assessment work forward, and that provosts rated faculty ownership and involvement as top priorities to advance the assessment agenda. So I've tried to keep faculty involvement in as many steps as possible. They will be the ones who are in a position to communicate emerging trends, and by showcasing how ITG will be using the analytic dashboard and gradebook in Canvas with our Learning Online at Emerson program, we'll hopefully give them ideas on how to create stronger assessment strategies within their own courses. I've also found that while frustrating, it may not always be possible to get access to all the data you might want. So use what you do have access to, and don't be afraid to ask for data from other departments. And finally, from a personal standpoint, I found the whole project management side of assessment incredibly challenging, and I now understand how assessment can be a career in its own right. So here are my references for my slide presentation. So thank you very much for taking the time to view it with me. Let me go and make a quick note here about Michelle Miller's book, Minds Online. It is a great survey on both theory and practice of online education, and I can't recommend it enough. I was able to convince my director to purchase a copy for the office, and I found that to be really helpful in kind of putting together the plan and how I was going to create Web 2.0 technologies to try to go and get the summative and formative assessment components kind of together. So thank you again for taking the time to view my presentation.